I think measurement is absolutely something that, I think not only will we talk about in this panel, but it is certainly probably one of the central points of conversation as we start to think about advanced television and unlocking that value cross screen.
But I would argue the biggest challenge has been that clients haven't stepped up. So, clients, I think, at the end of the day, we're responsible for moving the industry forward. And I don't think enough clients have actually stepped up and put pressure on the measurement industry, to be perfectly honest.
Why is that, Bon? I mean, is it a matter of you haven't had the visibility to be able to measure things with a uniform fashion across screens, or you haven't seen the contribution and the ROI and the volume sales linked to a cross-screen strategy?
I think why clients overall haven't maybe pushed harder, I think it's hard work. And I think that our measurement partners haven't given us other options. I wish there was a better answer, because I wish that,
if I could just jump in and say,
thank you.
Both those things are true, right? So clients haven't stepped up as much as they could have, or just haven't stepped up yet. And also the limitations on measurement of what the official currency is. It just kind of is what it is, and they're not moving because there's really only one company that offers that. So it put what we thought at NBC Universal over the last couple of years, that then it puts the you could call it a burden or an opportunity on a big company like NBC Universal to actually give you the opportunity, or give you the courage to test, to learn with us. If we had the investment opportunity, which thankfully we do, to build products, and then we had to put our skin in the game. We had to put our, investment money in and put our money where our mouth is and say, we're going to guarantee it for you. We believe in this so much. And for a company like NBC Universal, that at any given point in time, we have the ability to reach about a quarter of the available audience, it was what we felt a big enough opportunity to then, if we got it right, to just force the industry to move faster, quicker. So if I can guarantee that you would move more stuff off the shelf in a grocery store, or we could create more meaningful experiences for Ben's customers, then we'd be in the catbird seat afterwards. In early days, we're in pretty good shape.
I think it's everybody's responsibility. And that sounds too, I'm not trying to be too we are the world and wonderful. We're all at fault, right? There aren't enough Bonans and myself in media companies. There hasn't been enough investment on the part of the attention on the research companies, and the media companies and the agencies. We're all responsible for making this happen, and I think that we've all sort of it hasn't been a high enough priority, and we need to ratchet it up.
The technology hasn't been there as well. I think only the past couple of years where there's been the availability of data and the technology to apply that in the linear space. So that's rapidly emerging very quickly, and now advertisers can start to take the data that they've been using in digital for 5 or 10 years to improve performance, now apply that to TV. It seems nonsensical that 70 billion over here and a couple billion over here that it hasn't been pushed faster.
I think data and technology absolutely are enabling this to happen, but those pipes are really, really important. I think, for us, we're starting to see the ability to leverage products that we've created, like the TV Stack, which allows us to look at multiple different platforms, whether that's Facebook, YouTube, traditional streaming video, or linear television. We had to work really, really hard to get those reach curves, because that data isn't centrally available in any currency that's out there right now. So it was the agency's responsibility to get those reach curves, to integrate those into one common planning and buying platform, so that we could actually start to understand what does that look like if we are moving money from one investment opportunity to another investment opportunity. So on that topic of data and technology, I'm going to turn my attention to Dan and to Linda a little bit, because you guys have been working together certainly, and Linda, leaning in quite early on in terms of providing opportunities to identify audiences, follow those audiences, and reach those audiences regardless of the screen that they're on. So can you talk a little bit about what you're doing, and then I would love to just hear from Ben Bonin a little bit about is that helping to solve some of the challenges that you're facing?
If Linda's doing it, it's definitely helping us.
Fantastic. That's all we need to know.
He's after something, I'm quite sure.
Negotiations up front.
Yeah. Oh, the upfronts are happening, right? No, I think you need a trailblazing media owner. We've had partners outside the U.S. and certainly with Linda and her team here to change that conversation, to be willing to open up, make the investments in data, make the investments in technology to allow marketers to extract greater value out of their media properties. From a contextual standpoint, there is intrinsic value, and there's going to continue to be investment there. But as there's more and more fragmentation and more options for consumers, we have to make it easier for Linda and her clients to make that connection, because it's hard to apply that data to multiple screens. So make it easier to activate it, make it easier for people to transact, and share the control over the view of the value of media, share the control in the decisioning via these platforms. I think you've done it at scale in the digital space, and now to bring that into television is evolutionary. Stay away from the word revolution, but certainly evolutionary, and the adoption is there. I think every agency is leaning in, and other media companies are following suit.
And I have to jump in. A couple of years ago, Tim and Dan and the whole team at AOL invited me to come speak at their programmatic upfront. And we talked about how provocative that would be to the industry, and said, what the heck is this linear girl coming in and partnering or standing on stage with their team and launching our programmatic products. So it was the first television company to lean into programmatic, and now that has evolved with their help into a linear programmatic tool, but really in an effort to acknowledge what we had to deliver for you. So you've built this incredible tech stack, but if on the TV side, the supply side isn't as ready or technologically mature to be able to talk to you and deliver your need across any platform, that didn't seem to make a whole heck of a lot of sense. So again, working together, we're very like-minded in the sense of an open or shared ecosystem, and frustrated by others out there who that's this kind of black box of data that it's us and only us, because we just don't believe that's as respectful as it should be to ultimately to the consumer experience.